Our movie starts in a frightening forest with this bleeding girl. Looks like she fled something that was stuck in her. This man came up next to her, grabbed her, and his friend hit her in the head and she fainted. She ends up in this place that seems like a cannibal's ladder, but these dead animals and this book suggest that this old woman is definitely a witch. This man approached her and removed her scarf. Then she discovered it was her father. She asked him what he was doing and who they were. He said they were good people. After that, she asked him about her mom. He told her that she killed her. The witch told him to do it, and that's the only way to save her soul. He poured gasoline on her, but he couldn't light a match. She's his daughter. The witch started screaming and ordered him to do it. His daughter begged him to stop. The match didn't light. Gosh, she turned to someone else as if she had become a devil. The flames started to burn her feet, but she looked frightening. Then the flames consumed her and he pounced on her and shot her. Evil Dead 2013. Here in the forest, we see a group of young people who came probably to spend some time here. This is David. He's here to help her sister Mia, who is a drug addict. And this nurse Olivia will certainly help her too. But Mia's courage to get off the drugs may not last long. When trying to get in, they found the lock broken. It seems that someone broke into the house. While Mia was in there, the nurse told David they should prevent her from leaving because she had already run away. And she would soon flee again because of the withdrawal symptoms and beg to consume again where she could die of a drug overdose. But David rejected the idea and didn't want to force his sister. At night, Mia started screaming. She said that she couldn't stand the smell anymore. So the nurse injected her to ease her symptoms. But Mia kept complaining about that bad smell. They told her that it was because of the drug. But it seems that the dog found something. And by removing the carpet, they found something more like blood and a cellar door. When coming down, the smell was awful, and they found another room which seemed to be very dirty with many rotten animal corpses. This pillar is burned, and it looks like the spot where the girl was burned. What's in this bag tied up with barbed wire? Meanwhile, Mia was out walking under the rain. This young man opened that bag. It seems to be the book of that old witch. He cut himself. He extracted the name of Kanda, which is followed by Estrada, Mantusi and Kanda. Mia started vomiting. She saw something called her. So she ran straight home. She wanted to go back home, but everybody said no. So she decided to go alone. She found the monster in front of her and had an accident. She ended up in this pond and that monster chased her again. She fell between the branches, so he grabbed her. Looks like he's in an exact replica of her in the form of a devil. He grabbed her with 3 branches and then took something out of his mouth and put it between her thighs. After looking for her, thank God they found her. At home, everyone thought what was happening to her was because she'd given up on drugs. And when David approached her, she told him that there was something in the forest and that he may be here with them. He told her that all this was merely the fruit of her imagination and left her alone. Elsewhere in the house, David found his dog dead and it looks like he was killed. He suspected that Mia had killed it. He went to her. She was bathing and knocked on the door, but she didn't respond. Sounds like the devil wants to burn her alive. David kept knocking hard on the door until he broke it down. He found her on the floor, sitting and in very bad condition. He took her by car straight to the hospital. As for this young man with glasses, it seems he was the one who woke the devil out of his sleep. He finally found out that he was the one who created the problem. David found their roadblock, so they came back. The nurse told them that she had sedated Mia and that she would remain unconscious for several hours, and her burns are severe in the 2nd and the 3rd degrees. Eric intervened and told them that this was not the case and that the situation would worsen. Mia shot up holding a gun and started shooting. Gosh, looks like she will kill them all. The nurse tried to pick up the gun, but things turned out unexpectedly. No one knows how magic affects Mia yet. The nurse went to get a strong potion to give to Mia. Eric told David that it had nothing to do with drugs, but with the magic in the cellar. When Olivia was washing her face to prepare the drugs, things started to turn bad. Her devil-like face appeared in the mirror, then shattered. Gosh, what will the devil do with her? Chop off her head? She started peeing all over her clothes. Eric checked it out. When he came in, he found her cutting her face with a sharp piece of glass. And when he attempted to escape, he fell and the door was locked. She stopped him with a piece of glass, but he tried to save himself and hit her to the toilet. Then she gets back to kill him, but he beats her to death. Eric tells David that he read some prayers from the book and the devil was released, but he was bleeding a lot. David ordered Natalie to get sugar and water because he was bleeding badly. When she got to the kitchen, weird things happened. Mia was in the cellar asking for her help. Natalie came down and Mia was crying awfully. Suddenly, Mia turned around and started speaking in a really scary voice. Natalie ran away but slipped in the stairs and Mia pulled her inside. She ended up in front of the devil and he said,
"I can smell your filthy soul."
And then he started kissing her in a weird way. David opened the cellar door and the devil said to him, "Why didn't you f me, handsome?" David locked the cellar door with tight chains. What a nightmare. Eric tried to burn the book but in vain. The scripture said that after the devil feeds on 5 souls, the sky will rain blood again, and the abomination will ascend from hell. The devil is clinging to Mia's soul and the only solution to get rid of him is to kill her. Natalie's condition started to get worse, like the devil was starting to inhabit her body. David didn't want to kill his sister and Natalie is in trouble. David tells Eric that they will wait until the water recedes and leave afterwards. But Eric says no matter how hard they try to escape, it won't work because they will be dead. So they have to leave now. To save her soul from the devil, Natalie decided to chop off her arm, but the devil didn't like it. There are 3 ways to get rid of the devil's influence: burying a person alive, burning him with fire, or dismembering his body. Suddenly, Natalie starts hitting them with a nail gun trying to kill them. They ran away, but David pounced on her and pushed her away. But she returned to Eric and started hitting him with an iron. David shot at her and chopped off her hand. They left the house, and David eventually decided to set the house on fire by pouring gas all over the house to burn the devil that inhabited his sister's body. Mia started singing him a goodbye song. What a hard decision. He couldn't do this to his sister, so he got out and started digging. Then he came back to grab his possessed sister, but the devil was manipulating him. So he hit him and hit the wall, hit him again and then drowned him in the water. He was just a foolish man. Thank God Eric finally intervened and saved him from imminent death. Eric died after the devil stopped him, and Mia was injected by David with a strong anesthetic so that he could get her out of here. After starting to bury her, she woke up and began to speak as if nothing had happened. But he completed the burial process and the fire went out after she died. He took her out right away and tried to help her, but unfortunately she didn't respond. So he covered her and left. Suddenly he heard something calling him. He looked back and found his sister Mia. He hugged her strongly. He enters the house to pick up the car keys, but suddenly something stops him in the neck. It's Eric who has turned into a devil. David ran to his sister, gave her the keys and ordered her to escape. He locked the door, put the gun to the gas pail and set the house on fire. Suddenly it began to rain blood. The abomination came out of hell. He ran after her. She tried to escape in the car, but he caught her. She ran to this hole that enters the house and tried to switch on the chainsaw, but there was no fuel. The devil has completely surrounded her. Oh, he injured her leg. She smashed the wall and hid under the car. The chainsaw didn't work and she's in trouble. Chainsaw finally turned on. She cut off the devil's leg and ran away. But he flipped the car over and her hand got stuck under the car. Will she survive and get away, or will the devil be able to do it again as he did before? She put pressure on herself and tore her hand to run off and confront the devil and cut him in half, and this hell would end forever. See you in the next video.